What's happening, FlowChat Connector? In this video, we're going to talk about how to sell using multiple price points. Say you have a low, a medium, and a high ticket offer. Well, this is going to be the video for you. Stay tuned. What's happening, FlowChat Connector? Please make sure and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this out to those people that need it. But today's video is going to be a powerful one. We had a great question that came in right from Andrew, and he said this: Sean, I have multiple price points that I give to prospects during a sales call, and they always pick the wrong one. Damn it. I hate it when that happens, right? So maybe you have kind of a lower, medium, and a high priced offer with different values of different exchange. You're delivering more than, the price points and so on and so forth. So what do we do? How do we deal with this during the sales conversation? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about how to sell using multiple different price points. I think it's going to be really valuable for you. So pretty simple. This is a very easy way to separate this thing. There's two techniques, okay? So the two techniques are the triplicate of choice, and then the other one is called identify and recommend. Now, both work. Both are very effective. I've used both techniques, and so I'm going to kind of share what the techniques are. Say, for example, you're selling a house, right? And before you go show any houses to your clients as a real estate agent, you kind of want to understand maybe what bucket of investment that they can be in, right? And in this case, the triplicate of choice before you go show houses is going to probably be the right selection. And now, on the other hand, when do we use the identify and recommend? Now, you can use these at any time. They work both places, but that was a very great example. And I'm going to dive into it a little bit deeper. So the identify and recommend is where you're almost in the sales conversation where people are like getting closer to the buying, where they give you the credit card or they give you your money. The identify and recommend is going to be a more custom way to describe different price points. It'll also give you a little bit more control when you're diving in to say, hey, I want you to buy this one instead of here's the choice, you make it, right? And so the triplicate of choice sounds like this. Let's go to the example and I'll show you kind of how this works. So the example here has got three different price points. And so I'm going to share kind of how I would use both of these techniques. Again, the techniques are the triplicate of choice, and the second one is identify and recommend. And so if we're doing the triplicate of choice, this is kind of what it sounds like, right? So we get through the sales conversation. We've developed some pain. We understand how their budget's going to work. We understand how their buying process and everything else works. And then we say something like this, right? Because the question will come up, well, how much does this cost, right? Or some form of that question will come up. And so using the triplicate of choice, this is what we say. We say, well, Mr. Prospect or Miss Prospect, for a fortunate few of our clients, they can actually fit in this almost a $10,000 bucket, right? And this is a fortunate few. It's not everybody. It's kind of the white glove red carpet service. It's how it works, and it's only for a fortunate few. And then for the majority of the people that do get started with us, they usually would start around that like $5,000, $6,000 mark, because that's the one that serves majority of the population and everything else. And then for those that are on a limited budget, we have an option of where you can kind of get started. But again, this is kind of the starting place where, again, you got to remember you're going to have to ascend. And that one's right around that $2,000 price mark. Which bucket do you fit in? So when you do the triplicate of choice, you're asking the prospect to self-identify before they even make a buying decision which bucket you think they fit in. You've given them the option saying, hey, there's a fortunate few that can afford our highest ticket offer. The biggest majority ends up here because this is like kind of the catch-all bucket. And then for those on a limited budget, you have the lowest option. Always start high, go low. That's the right way to do it. And then they'll say, well, I feel like I'm kind of in that silver bucket. And then you say, okay, great. And now if that's the one that you're trying to sell, perfect. If it's not the one you're trying to sell when they self-identify, right, then we have to dive back into the conversation and go a little bit deeper. So that's if you're using the triplicate of choice. And now if we go back and look, identify and recommend is the other scenario. So what that one sounds like is your conversation before you get to the price has to be a little bit deeper. And so the conversation that we're having is we're learning, do they have the problem that you solve? Yes or no? That's the first thing we need to identify. Then we need to understand the who. So who's going to be doing the work, implementing the results to get implementing the thing to get the results. And then what success looks like. We can have that kind of a conversation and we get all the facts and we try to step into their shoes and understand them at a deeper level than most sales pros will ever do. This is the one I use most of the time, because then when it comes to the question when, hey, well, what's the price? How much do you cost? What does it sound like? Yeah, let me show it to you. Right. And then I actually bring up a screen that shows our price points. And I say, well, here, let me explain these different buckets to you, because I feel like there's one that I actually will recommend for you. And here's kind of what it sounds like. Right. So you're looking for this and this and this. You're trying to solve this problem. You can definitely get started. It's you and this other person who have to make the decision. I understand that. And based on what you told me, the bronze package is not a fit. And so I straight up tell them, like, hey, this one's not a fit. And here's why. Give a reason, right? So I've identified their problem. Again, going back to this, identify, and now I'm recommending what I think as the expert. And this is always the one that I found to close more deals than the triplicate of choice, but I've closed deals with both. And I say, you're not a fit for the bronze because this is more so like the very much do it yourself. And what I mean by that is the people that are a good fit for this package will come to me and say, Sean, this is what I'm doing right now. And they show me their spreadsheets and their documents and exactly what their flow is and how the process looks. And they've already been implementing this exact technique that we teach or whatever. And they already have a pretty good grasp of it. And so they don't need that much support. That's the person that's going to be great for our bronze package and actually fly with it. And I always want you to have success as the prospect. The second option is, and now you're down to two because you've disqualified one of your price points. And now you just have the good ones that you want them to buy anyways. And then we go deeper and we say, hey, well, are you looking for like top level support? And, if you probably identified they have more time or they have more money than time. Well, if they have more money than time, always try to sell into your biggest package. If they have less money and more time, then that middle package seems to be right. And so with our particular product, we have a couple of features that are specifically for each of these buckets. And so say, for example, somebody wanted to white label our software. Well, then in that case, what I would say is, hey, listen, I don't think the silver middle package is the right package for you because you can't do the white labeling feature, and that's the thing that you wanted to do, right? So for that reason, the silver package is kind of disqualified. So now we just have to look at the gold package. Is this something you think you can do? And that's how I've identified what the prospect is having trouble with and what they're trying to achieve in the fastest path that they want to go forward with. And you tell them, hey, look, the gold package is the right one. And here's why. Because you're going to not only get the white label, we're also going to put somebody in your business that can help you run it. We're going to help manage that person, hold them accountable. And you said you don't have any time to do this. Well, you got the cash flow to do it. Like, this is the play for you. Like, there is no better one. And here's what's going to happen. If you buy that silver and you want to test it or try it or whatever, you'll probably get in there and realize that it's a lot more work than you thought it was, and then get discouraged and quit. And I don't want that to happen for you. So is the gold something that you think you can do? And that would be how I would pitch the identify and recommend version of technique to dealing with multiple price points. I tell them what they're not right for and why, and then I tell them what I recommend for them and why. And then what people love when that's happening is it makes it easy for them to have to make a decision. So it's very easy. You always want to make it easy for your prospect, right? The harder it is for your prospect, the more resistance comes in your world, the less effective it's going to be for you to get people over the line. And the last little bonus move that I wanted to share with you here is sometimes you're going to find a prospect that doesn't fit any of your buckets, but they do fit some special package that you've had in the back of your mind. And by the way, you're selling anything, make sure you have a super high price point for some package that you've probably never even sold before, but have it ready just in case. Just say, hey, like when we had our high ticket sales agency, we had a 40K 2-day intensive. We had a $300,000 white glove red carpet service offer that we never sold any of the 300K. We sold some of the 40K 2-day intensives. And with that 300K plan, it was, we just had it as a line item. Like, hey, if you're really ready to go fast and you want the full done free service, that's the package. We can talk about it if you want to. And I just let it float out there, because if you don't have that big package, no one's ever going to even ask about it or want to buy it, right? And so sometimes when you have a prospect that doesn't fit any of these buckets, what are we doing? We're throwing in another one. Hey, here's the platinum hidden offer one that nobody gets to see. Based on your conversation that we've just had, I don't think you're a fit for any of these three buckets, but I do think you're a fit for a platinum offer, and I only bring it out for specific people. It's very rare, it's very scarce, and there's only a handful of them that we can sell at any time. Now someone's really listening because they're like, whoa, this is a super custom opportunity for me. Yeah, well, let me show you behind the curtains and what you get. And in this case, if you have that kind of an offer, make it so that it looks very rustic. Don't have it very formalized on like a nice doc with paper that has like all your headers and stuff. Do it on a regular spreadsheet. say, hey, yeah, we've sold some of these, but we actually just use the spreadsheet to kind of like talk through the terms and everything else. And what I do when we do it is I go through an actual spreadsheet and I share, it's like, yeah, this is an offer that we're testing and we've had a lot of success with it. And I think you would fit with it. And I wanted to invite you to take a peek at it, see if it's something that you are interested in. And all of a sudden, this person says, no, I don't want the bronze, silver, or gold. I'm already committed. Now you're showing me something that I can't get unless I'm invited to get. Like, I'm very hungry for that thing and I want to learn how it works. And then you can go deep into the conversation and you can close your hidden offer that you had hiding in the back, and you can make way more profit from the same prospect. And that, my friends, is how you deal with multiple price points when you are selling stuff. And I can tell you it works. It works for me. It'll work for you 100%. With that said, you just been tuned up. I hope this one was helpful. Make sure and smash that like button, share this out to those people, and subscribe to the channel. And I can't wait to see you next time.